Hello Libra. Welcome to your May 2020 overview reading. This is good for you if you're a sun, moon, or rising Libra. And before we get started, please take a moment to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Make sure that you check me out on Instagram for more awesome content from me and more card readings, among other things. If you would like to work with me one-on-one, check out everything in the description box because I have a lot of good stuff in there if you want to take a class or work with me one-on-one. And without further ado, I am going to lay this spread out and then we will get started. Okay, let's start with your oracle cards. First thing, abundance. Nice. So remember that abundance is something that it constantly exists at all times, but a lot of the time as human beings, we want to zoom in on anywhere that there's a lack or disruption or interference. It's like we want to zoom in on the problems. But in order to cultivate more, you first have to seek out the things that are already abundant. And it doesn't go away. It's not something that ever goes away, no matter the circumstances, right? Because abundance is something that exists in all different forms. You know, even the things that are just in your immediate environment show up in abundance. So try zooming out in order to get the most out of this, energetically speaking. And then we also have the thread. So this is actually showing up as like you grabbing onto something particular, and that's actually what's helping you move forward. Like you're grabbing the string, you're grabbing the thread, you're grabbing the rope. So this is just reminding you, like, don't stop doing that. You want to continue to work your way along, continue to move along. And that's going to be the best practice. It's kind of like there is stuff to grab a hold of. There are things to grab onto, which of course that's usually the work that I'm doing with people is like, what are you working with? Let's just work with wherever you're at or whatever you already have working and brewing and going to begin with. And so that's what this is really reminding me of. And then we have container. Be intentional about what or who you wish to show up in the space you have provided. Set the energy for the endeavor up front. Hold space for spirit and trust. So there's a lot of creation happening. That's always happening, but I think that you probably have a container or very clear empty space right now. Maybe it's job vacancy, maybe it's partner vacancy, maybe it's friendship vacancy, whatever the case may be intentional with what you want that to be filled with. The central energy for the month is the Two of Swords. You guys still there? So it's a blind card, right? That's usually how this is showing up. So I think there's still a lot of unknown. There's a lot of information that you're not going to be getting this month. And it takes you back to you be intentional, grab onto what you do have access to, and tap into abundance wherever you can, because it exists at all times. It's constantly around. So you can get really literal with it, you know, if you're struggling with that. And then the crossing energy is judgment. It says they're watching. So the judgment card is about like final decisions. And this is where you might be getting mixed up, is you might be waiting for the environment in order to decide what you want, rather than making a decision about what you want and then that being created in the environment. Because the trick to any type of manifestation or creation is you have to hold the energy of the thing long enough. You can't like have faith for 2 seconds and say, it's not working, and throw in the towel. That's not going to work. So don't shoot yourself in the foot with that. Faith, it's fine when you're like in a good mood and you're really feeling something, right? But faith is when it doesn't look like it's going to happen, and then you still have to continue holding energy for it. And that's what the container is highlighting. That's also what the thread card is highlighting. You have to decide, grab a hold of it, and just keep tugging yourself along. You have to trust ultimately. And so that's what the Judgment card is really highlighting. You make the decision. Don't wait for the environment. That's always, always, always going to be a mistake. If you're like waiting for the environment to indicate how you should feel, you have to do that work first. And then what you have moving out is the Hanged Man. This is stagnation. So there's a lot of movement that is happening, even if things feel really slow. I think that April was probably really stagnant for you. This is looking like April slowness, and then things are moving energetically. So again, that is going to have an impact on like how quickly things move, right? Is how much work you are or are not doing, how much you're really being okay in the uncertainty, but still deciding what it is that you get to have come to you. The oncoming energy is the Fool. So like taking a leap, taking a risk, right? And if the stakes are really low for you right now, if you feel like you are kind of on the down and out, or if you have had things happen where like some bugs were shaken out, know that you can always take risks that are in alignment with you. Don't just take risks for the sake of taking risks, but this has the potential to really, really serve you whenever you feel really clear. Because the trick to having the Fool work for you is you want to be clear on, this is what I desire, and I'm going to jump in that general direction. And then the outward manifestation is the Three of Wands. And it's kind of like there is a journey ahead. There is a lot of time. There's a lot going on. It's not just one thing, cut and dry, point blank, just one step or one destination. It's life. Like, it's a process. There's so much happening. And so this is just reminding you that you don't have to get too attached to anything, really. I mean this in a good way. Like, if something doesn't work out, or if something doesn't pan out, you know, rolling with the punches, continuing to hold the energy, because that's what the Two of Swords teaches us, and knowing that things come to you, but you have to hold the energy for that thing. That is what's happening here in this Three of Wands, card. It's like, just keep going. That's the beauty of the fact that you have a lot of time. There's much, much, much space for the things that you want. So let me clarify this for you. We have the Five of Stars, so the Five of Pentacles. And again, I think that this is highlighting scarcity. I think it's highlighting impatience. I think it's highlighting, you know, being more comfortable in doubt than in confidence that good things will come to you. That's kind of how this is showing up. For some of you, you might have a really easy time getting into the energy of what you want and being okay, like just being present and holding space in that container for your desires. Others of you are really, really trying to shake out some of the scarcity pictures in all of this, because you might be reverting back to, no, it's not going to work, why bother? No, it's not going to work, why bother? And that's a dangerous game. Then you're really not doing yourself any favors. So be careful with that if you find yourself in that camp. In the subconscious, we have the Queen of Cups. So you might be a little bit more sensitive. There might be some moodiness that's coming up. This is all stuff that can get worked through. Right? We want the emotional body to be taken care of and supported. So just allow your emotions to come to the surface and let yourself work through them. There's no shame in doing that. So just give yourself permission to do so. In the advice position, we have the Two of Wands. So again, it's like Create a map for yourself. Enjoy the process of looking forward to things and getting excited about the future rather than dread, because that is going to also determine what you have coming towards you, right? If you look forward constantly with dread, fantasizing about all of the things that could go wrong or all of the things that are not enjoyable, then that is the footprint that you're creating energetically. So it's like that really is not going to serve you. So you may as well do the opposite. It's like, what are you dead set on having come to you? What are you absolutely clear on? This is what I desire. This is what I'm moving towards. This is what's coming to me, no matter what. That's the advice here. Is you ultimately decide, even though yes, it's a practice, but you decide what you're intentionally creating. So get off the negative feedback loop. Please do yourself that favor. And then this is the environmental influences. We have the High Priestess. This can be someone who's in your space, or this can just be a call to, nope, quit looking at the environment. Quit it, quit it, quit it, quit it, quit it. It's not doing you any favors. Same thing with the Two of Swords, right? This is saying, stop looking outside of yourself. Stop it now. Stop it. Like that's just what's coming up here. So focusing on your own source and your own information, your own wisdom, that is really going to be a game changer. If you need support, go straight to the source, right? Go into meditation or go into your internal wisdom. Know that the answers already exist within. The hopes and fears, we have the Three of Pentacles. So it's like you know there's work to be done, but there also might be some nerves around doing the work. And so however this is showing up for you, some of you might be really excited to get some stuff done, make things happen, moving in the right direction. And then others of you are going to be, this is coming across as burnout, like, I have to do more work. There's frustration. So what I would pose, the question that I would ask is, for those of you who are feeling like you're dreading this or you're not interested in this, I would ask you, well, what would it take in order for you to get excited about the work that you're doing? Because more than likely, if you're even watching this video, then active creation and manifestation is something that never goes away. Like, that's something that you're going to be doing for the rest of your life. And it's something that there's always going to be something else that you want. Wanting never goes away. And the more that you can have fun with the process, the easier it's going to be for yourself. There is no destination. There's no destination here. So if you're under the illusion that there's like some mountaintop that you're going to get to where you're going to be ultimately satisfied, you are sorely mistaken. So you really have to ground yourself in the feelings of satisfaction now, fulfillment now, in order to create more. I'm going to clarify the Three of Pentacles. Six of Cups. What was your childhood like in terms of work ethic, giving effort, creating what you want? What were your parents like? Because that's what this highlights. It's the nostalgia card. If you can go back and kind of do some investigating around what did I learn, what was modeled to me, it might give you some help and some clarity on what you're experiencing now. The outcome of the month is the Emperor, personal power. This is divine masculine. And divine masculine is really good at holding space, like holding the container. That's the job of the masculine energy. So you just want to focus on what are you creating within the container? Because that is still what the Emperor is highlighting here more than anything else. It's like how you're applying yourself, how you're showing up for yourself, and also what parameters are you creating for that container. Because all of the stuff that you have show up within the container, that's feminine. So there's an emphasis here. For many of you, it seems like you're either massaging or reworking divine masculine for yourself, right? For some of you, maybe this is like you're cooling off on this and getting in a healthier relationship with your personal masculine energy. For others of you, you might need a little bit more. You might need more structure. You might need more routine. So you have to kind of figure out how much gas to give that in order to get the best results. Let's look at the timeline. First quarter of May, we have the 9 of Cups, wishes fulfilled, dreams coming true. Yes, 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 all good things. So this is a really nice energy to start the month off with. What I like to say with the 9 of Cups is like, if you're having good things happen, or even if like one good thing happens, then you want to like get yourself so excited and fulfilled and happy about that you're marinating and conjuring up those feelings. Marinate in it because it's really going to help you. Second quarter, we have death. Okay, so there's like some adjustments are being made here. I think something is being reworked, very similar to how I mentioned up here with this masculine energy. The death card is like something needs to shift out and something else is going to grow in its spot. So what is that for you in this second quarter? Just ask yourself the question. Something probably isn't working that you're able to get rid of and sweep out and welcome a new way of being. And then quarter 3, we have the World. So old cycles really getting wrapped up and coming to a close. I think it has to do with this death card. Like you finally said goodbye to something that has not worked. The death card, we're constantly going through death and rebirth cycles. It never goes away. So for you, it's just about what isn't working, making its way out. And then you're able to get really clear in this third quarter. Wrapping up the month, we have Judgment, final decisions. And if you have the clarity, like if you're seeing, okay, this is what I wanted before, it didn't work, or maybe you're refocusing or realigning your desires. It could also be something where you're feeling really grounded in making things happen. That could be helping you out at this time. So this is coming across as confidence to me because you have this is like, this is what I want and I'm not budging. And I mean that in a good way. That's really going to help you manifestation wise. And then wrapping up the month with that is just a confirmation of I'm clear on what I want and I'm not budging and I'm going to hold the energy of the thing that I desire. It's doing all of those. So if you're focused on that this month, you're going to get really good results. Now let's do a 3-card pick. You're welcome to ask a question, ask for guidance, ask for clarity, whatever you need. Card number 1, 8 of Coins. This will require effort. So if you're going into whatever you've asked about or whatever you're trying to get guidance on, and you go in thinking there's no work required, that's not a good move. Even if it's internal work, even if it's mindset work or mentality work or anything of the sort, it's going to require consistent application and intentional effort. You know, that is the work. So don't forget that, okay? Card number 2, we have Death. So you're moving into a new chapter. There's like something ahead that you're transforming and evolving into. So whatever this is, it looks like you're doing really big work. So I don't want to say enjoy it. Some people might be kicking and screaming their way through it, but the Death card is just highlighting this deep, deep, deep evolution that's happening within yourself. And then card number 3, we have the Ace of Wands. This is like a burst of energy and being able to take action on the things that make sense to you. So this is just really aligned effort and energy, because sometimes you can take a lot of action that can be absolute busy work and not do you any favors. You know, that's something that can happen. But this looks like it's really aligned energy, aligned effort, aligned. So just make sure that you're checking in with yourself and with your source. Like, is this what I truly desire? Is this the right action that makes sense for me? Thank you so much for joining me today, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on notifications if you want to know when I put out new readings. And don't forget to sign up for my newsletter, which is down in the description box below. You'll get a free dealing with family meditation, and you'll also get readings sent to your inbox, as well as other information on all sorts of good stuff that I put out. If you would like to know which decks I used in this reading, they're all listed in the description box. If you need to work with me, go to onyxhealing.com, and I will see you beautiful people later. Have a good one. Bye-bye.